Hey guys, welcome back to Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. Happy New Year. Welcome to season 5 and welcome to the first episode of season 5. I just want to thank everybody that has been listening to us, that has been growing with us. We appreciate you. This is season 5, so I am really excited about how Matters of the Heart and Soul literally was a spiritual seed that has grown and manifested itself on so many levels. And I'm just grateful to be here and to be present for it. So, on today's episode, which is our first episode of this season, of this new year, I want to talk about how to experience the divine daily. Okay. We are both human and divine. And it's so important to come into balance and harmony with that. We have existed where our humanity have superseded our divinity, but we have to get to a place in our consciousness that our divinity supersedes our humanity. And because of this, we have so much suffering and pain in the world and on this earth. Okay. We get so caught up in our human experiences. So we get caught up in the human emotions. We get caught up in the human reactions. We get caught up in the human, illusions, all right, of what we should be as humans, that we don't even realize that we are divine at the core. Okay, so I think that if we could experience the divine daily, if we could practice this daily, if we could see what the divine is in our daily life, we do this more often, we actually could tap into the magic, into the wonder, and live a wondrous life. I promise you, if you could see the divine and experience it daily in your everyday task, you will live a magical life. So I want to talk about 5 ways in how to experience the divine daily. Number 1 is the breath. All right. Simple breath, you're breathing. Breath is your life force energy. It is your prana. Some people call it chi. When we breathe, we are actually taking in the energy of the divine, and it is going to every organ. It is going to every atom, every cell in our body. Without the breath, we cannot be here. And guess what? It happens automatically. It happens without your consent. Okay. So the breath is so important. Learn how to breathe, especially in stressful moments. There's tons of meditations. There's tons of guided breathing exercises out here because science proves that the breath and learning how to channel this energy and breathing correctly increases vitality. It makes us happier. It makes us stronger. It makes us healthier. The breath is so important. So learn how to breathe. The breath is spirit. So when you can be aware of the breath, aware of your breathing, take time to be in that awareness of your breath, you are experiencing the divine. Okay. So the breath daily is experiencing the divine. All right. Number 2 is being present. Present is about being right here, right now. It's not about worrying about the past, and it's not about worrying about the future. It's being right here, right now, seeing what you need to see, hearing what you need to hear, and doing what you need to do in this very moment. Okay. Sometimes we put our life on autopilot, right? You wake up, you eat the same thing for breakfast, you take the same route for work, you eat the same thing for lunch, you talk to your kids, but you're not listening, or we're juggling too much. We have become multitaskers, but I think that's a good trait, but I also think it takes us away from being present. Being present is being right here. Also, being present in the mundane daily task, so important. When you wake up, be present. Be present when you're setting your daily goals. Be present when you're brushing your teeth. Be present when you're cooking your breakfast. Be present when you're driving to work. Be present when you're sitting on the porch. Be present when you're eating your food, when you're chewing your food and you're swallowing your food. Be present. Be present. Be right here, right now. Okay. When you're spending time with your spouse, be present in that moment. Presence is so important. Also, be silent. Being silent allows us to be present. All right. There was a podcast last season with a lady named Norma Edwards. If you have some time, go back and watch it. But Norma talked about how she would do silence fast. She would not talk for X amount of time, and she would not talk to somebody else, and nobody would talk to her. But she said that when she was silent, she really learned a lot about herself. She learned a lot about other people. But being silent allows us to tap into our intuition, right? We have to start to awaken our intuition and some of those other senses that we don't normally use. Okay. When you're silent, you have to pay attention to how you feel. When you're silent, you have to pay attention to your thoughts. What are you thinking? What thoughts are coming in? When you're silent, you have to pay attention to what you hear, what you see. All right. So be silent. Silence also brings about peace and clarity. When we are moving about and we're juggling and we're going from place to place and we're, doing all these things, we have no peace and we have no clarity. But when you can just be silent, peace comes, clarity comes, because the downloads, your intuition steps up. But you can't feel or hear or discern your intuition when it's too noisy, too much going on. So be silent. Spend some time in silence. Silence is very important. The third thing is be in your creating energy, okay? You have creativity because you are a spark of the creator. So if you are a spark of the creator, you have creativity. So when you are in your creativity, you are experiencing the divine on a daily basis. So when you sing in that song and God bestowed upon you a beautiful voice and you sing in that song and you sing in that song from the pits of your soul, you are experiencing the divine. And guess what? Through that beautiful voice, when we listen to that song and we feel the song, we are experiencing the divine through your voice. Okay. So when you're creating art, if you're an artist or you're a painter or a photographer, we are experiencing the divine through your creativity. Okay. So, the paintings that you create, how you create your photos, that's all creativity. And depending on how you get those downloads, how you get that inspiration, we are able to experience the divine through you. Okay. As an authors, how your words are conveyed in your book, how your writing style, the downloads that you get, your inspiration. When we read your book, we can experience the divine through you. So stay in your creativity. Your creativity allows you to experience the divine on a daily basis. We have been blocked from our creativity because we have been put on autopilot. And if you think about it, we have been programmed in a way to work certain jobs until retirement, and it leaves no room for you to be creative, to tap in your creativity, for you to get that inspiration, for you to manifest your purpose in this earth. Okay. So tap into your creativity. It's going to allow you to experience the divine daily. And creativity is, it's wide open. There's tons of things. I mentioned just a few things. Those business ideas, when you get that inspiration for that business idea, that is specific to you. I tell people, don't worry about when people, mock or emulate some of your ideas or your business ideas, because what is inspired specifically for you to create will work for you. That's why some people can try things that other people have done and it does not work for them, because that was not their creation to bring forth in the earth. You will get your own downloads, your own creativity But again, you have to be in a space of presence to even receive it. Okay. So your creativity, stay in your creativity, you will experience the divine on a daily basis. Okay. Next, experiencing each other. When we exchange certain experiences with our co-humans, we are experiencing the divinity in each other. Therefore, we are experiencing the divine on a daily basis. In the movie Avatar, they said, I see you. What that means is, I see the divinity in you. We have gotten so caught up in only seeing the humans in each other. So we get caught up in the looks of each other. We get caught up in the material possessions of each other. We get caught up in the human reactions of each other. That is not the divinity. We have to see the divinity in each other. So when we exchange love and compassion and acceptance and non-judgment of other humans, we are experiencing the divine in them, okay? We are experiencing the divine of them. So it's so important to understand that as fellow humans, this is definitely one thing we have got to correct, because we have gotten so far from the divinity that it has caused a lot of suffering and a lot of pain. And I think that's why there's so much pain and grief. You know, people stay stuck in grief. You have to move from that. I think you have to experience it. That's a part of your human DNA, but you can't get so caught up in your human experiences. And what I mean by human experiences is that you're going to experience things on this earth. And I'll use myself for an example. I have experienced a lot of loss. I have lost both of my parents. I have experienced divorce. I have experienced a lot of things, you know, a lot, but I don't get caught up in the human experience. I focus on what I learned in those situations from the people that was a part of my life. And I focus on the love that I got from those people. I focus on the wisdom, right, from my parents, even my past relationships, but I don't focus on what I lost. Therefore, I don't get stuck in the grief, right? Over the last several years from 2020, there has been a lot of death, right, on the earth. There's been a lot of death. So we have to learn how to understand that death is a part of life. We constantly focus on life, but we don't understand on how to accept death. So we have to understand that we are both human and divine. And if you get so caught up in all the human things, then you're gonna really suffer. And our divinity is not for us to suffer. We're here to live abundant, prosperous lives, okay? That is our birthright. It is to live abundant and prosperous, happy, healthy lives. But we have to understand that you have to tap into the divinity to experience that. And we can experience divinity every day. All right. And the fifth and final way in how to experience the divine in your daily walk is observing nature. Nature is so important. Okay. Sit out in nature. What do you hear? All right. What do you feel? Feel the wind on your skin. Okay. Go and experience nature's oceans. Plunge yourself in nature's oceans. Experience that. Experience a sunset and a sunrise. Put your bare feet on the earth, right? So maybe if you're walking on the beach, is the sand between your toes. Go out in your backyard and put your bare feet on the grass. Feel that. Commune with that. That is feeling the divine every day, okay? And by the way, we are abundant in nature. The oceans belong to us. The forest belongs to us. The sun belongs to us. These are things that we are so abundant in, but we get so caught up in our human experience that we don't even see the miraculous and the beauty that the divine has bestowed upon us every day. Okay? So we have to come back to our remembrance of what divinity really is, and balance and harmonize your humanity with your divinity. Okay. So that is all I have. All right. This is about experiencing the divine every day and how you could do that. And I said 5 ways. The breath was one. Okay. Presence, being present. One of the characteristics of the divine is omnipresence. So being present, you have to be present. And remember, guys, the whole soul evolution is so that you can refine the soul, refine that soul, become more and more and more like the divine, right? Like Christ. So you want to be present. If that's a characteristic of the divine, omnipresent, you got to be present. You got to be present. All right. The third one was creating. If we are sparks of the divine, which is the creator, which is the intelligence, okay, then we have creativity within us that we have to unlock. And when you tap into your creativity, we all can experience the divine through your creations, whether it be a book that you write, whether it be a photograph that you take, whether it be, a painting that you create, a song that you write, a business that you come up with that will serve humanity, right? That will bring about a purpose on the earth. We can all experience the divine through your creations. So creativity, okay? And experiencing each other was number 4, all right? When we are having divine experiences with other humans, through our love, our acceptance, our non-judgment, our compassion, our empathy with each other, we are experiencing the divine in that moment. So when we practice kindness, right? When we drop seeds, when we help people who are struggling. And I wanted to mention that it is our duty, it is our human and divine duty to help our fellow, humans that are struggling, because we're all on a different level. We're all serving as teachers and students to each other. But do that within your comfortable boundaries, okay? Because we all have to carry our own cross. And what I mean by that is we all have our own soul to refine. Okay. So every time you harbor in unforgiveness, or you harbor in anger, or you stay stuck in those wounds, or you choose not to heal those wounds, you get dark spots all over your soul, and your soul become fragmented. So you actually leave parts of your soul in all the trauma and the drama that you experience. And then when it's time to do the work, like I said, carrying your own cross, you got to go back to all those places and grab those fragmented parts of your soul and bring it back together in wholeness, so that you can be of healing. And if the goal is to refine the soul, means that we are to become the image of the divine, right? The divine has to work through a pure soul, a pure unconditional love soul, a soul that has attained that pure unconditional love. Okay. So, and as long as you're here on this earth, you are still refining the soul. Okay. So we are all doing the work. But when we individually take responsibility for that, we make it a whole lot easier on everybody else that we have to interact with. Okay. So, and then the last one was observing nature. So those were the 5 ways how you could tap in and experience the divine daily. All right, guys, we're both human and divine, and it's important to come into balance and harmony, but know that your divinity supersedes your humanity. All right, we have existed in the quite opposite, and that's why we have so much pain and suffering. But it is time to put divinity in its proper order. All right. Do not get stuck in the human experiences. Do not get pulled down in the heaviness of the things that you see. Okay. Especially a lot of the negative things. Protect your peace, protect your soul, protect your spirit from the heaviness of the human experience. Okay. But the humanity is still amazing, right? Because we can feel emotions, we can experience joy, we can hug others, That is our humanity, but we want to make sure it is in alignment with the divinity. Okay. So that is it, guys. That's all I have. This has been another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast, our first episode of the 5th season, 5 years. Okay. And we appreciate it. This podcast has really, connected us with a lot of people, and we enjoy it. And we're so grateful for the light and the love that it is putting out in the earth. And we appreciate you guys for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And I will catch you guys at the next episode. Until then, take care.